Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Little Big Man, and welcome back to the January transfer window roundup. So obviously yesterday was the Watford match. Could have been better. Could have been a lot better. However, obviously it does that then mean more signings are definitely needed. Seems to be around about the centre back, centre mid position is what a lot of people have been saying is the go to that we need to push for. So we'll start off with probably I'd say the biggest deal I think we've got to talk about really, and that is that. I mean, obviously, this is from Friday, yesterday, and today. Obviously, because I didn't have time to record one on the Friday. So it's reported that well, it was reported on Friday that the Botman deal still has life to it, so it very much could still happen. However, the asking price seems to be about 55 million euros. So obviously, it seems like Newcastle might have to spend a fair bit in order to acquire the 23-year-old centre back. However, obviously, it has been said in the past, I think 24 hours or so, that the Lille president has stated that Botman will not be leaving the club. He is a key player to help them achieve their goals. Um, so obviously that leaves it till the summer, in which AC Milan will try. Then that's if he is still a Lille player. Obviously, we could very much just throw the 55 million euros at them to get him in. It could maybe push them towards a decision if that is the supposed asking price. However, obviously, it does then mean that it is a fair chunk of the transfer budget used. So obviously, if we were to bring him and Diego Carlos in, fantastic centre back partnership. Um, so I don't know. Hopefully, we could push towards him because obviously the Watford match leaves a lot to be desired in the sense of the centre back and the centre midfield roles. Um, Speaking of centre back roles to be wait, sorted, we actually have rumours of our first departure. It's currently the 16th of January. We are halfway through the window. So it is reported that Bordeaux are keen on signing the Swiss centre back Fabian Schär, um, who I guess out of the centre backs we have isn't exactly one that I'd like to lose, but considering we are going to need to offload to unload, I'd be willing to make that sacrifice. I get he's decent maybe in a CDM role, um, as he can kind of push forward with the ball, sort of like Harry Maguire for England. Can charge forward with the ball, bring it into the game a bit better. Um, but obviously, we need to sell to be able to create the space for players to come in. I still don't know who we've sacrificed. However, yeah, so Shah is the first, wait, technically second actually, because obviously Longstaff was mentioned in the Digne deal. Um, so technically the second to be rumoured to leave. Um, but speaking of Sean Longstaff, Eddie Howe has said that has a future that Sean Longstaff has a future at the club. Um, which I guess for Sean is a good point, as obviously he has had a bit of a rocky patch of form, especially more recently, as he has been getting game time in. Um, so whether obviously like he'll need to maybe sort himself out. I don't know if it's morale or confidence or anything, but he's not been at his best, especially the past couple of weeks, as he has been getting a bit more game time, so it's more noticeable. Um, but Eddie Howe has said that he does have a future at the club. Although he obviously was likely to be part of a swap deal for Luca Digne when he was at Everton, obviously before Aston Villa came in. Eddie Howe was also refusing to talk about transfer targets in press conferences, and is also refusing to spend ridiculous amounts of money on players. So obviously that does leave a lot to be offered with the Sven Botman deal with the 55 million euro asking price labelled. I don't know. For quality, we're going to need to spend. And considering Botman's, what, 23? He's got the potential. He can push forward and be good. He could, I've heard people say he could be the company of Newcastle, really, if we bring him in, obviously, for the next, what, 10 year? Help to kind of change us from this relegation fighting potential championship team to a top half, maybe European challenging team. Maybe even further if we manage to push far enough. But yeah, obviously the bid was £29 million for Diego Carlos, so I'm kind of expecting it to come back, be rejected, and have to send off another one. As obviously, especially for him, I'd say it's a bit low personally, but I don't know. In press conferences and interviews, the Sevilla boss is very unhappy with questions from the media in regards to that situation with Diego Carlos and the potential transfer to Newcastle United. There is also interest in signing academy prospect Sean Medvedev's brother. So obviously, another youngster we could bring in to push for the future. If it all goes well. So the links to Donny van der Beek that have been circling for a little while now. Ralf Rangnick has said that he wants Van der Beek to stay at the club, along with Dean Henderson, as obviously both have been linked to a move to Tyneside. And Van der Beek has also been linked to Dortmund. However, it has been said today that Van der Beek has refused the loan offer to Newcastle due to our league position, which is understandable. It's going to be the struggle, really. Obviously, it does make this window a lot more difficult because of the fact that we're not exactly drawing loads of power because of the fact that we have that chance of getting relegated. It has been reported by the Chronicle as well that the dressing room is relatively happy with the additions to the squad, although obviously performance against Cambridge leaves a lot to be desired in the sense of ethic and potential departures. Fofana from Lens, the Ivory Coast centre mid, has been linked to Burnley, Newcastle, and Leeds, with Burnley holding talks with the centre mid and a £14 million price tag on the player. There is also links for the Argentinian left back Nico Tagliafico to Napoli. Obviously, he was mentioned earlier in the window as a backup option for the Luca Digne deal. Was Napoli wanting him on a loan to buy, which Ajax could be maybe favourable of, or Tagliafico could be more favourable of than maybe a move to Newcastle. Nothing has been said about him moving to Newcastle since the links when the Digne deal was there. So I'm not entirely sure if it's dead in the water or what. But other links include Gini Wijnaldum and Dusan Vlahovic being heavily linked to Arsenal. So it looks slightly more unlikely that they. I mean, for Vlahovic especially, it looked extremely unlikely for him to join Newcastle. But with Wijnaldum now being quite linked to Arsenal too, could also mean that he's not moving back to Newcastle. So Ben Mee links that I only heard about in the past day have been shot down by the player, and with him seemingly taking a pop shot at Chris Wood when asked about it. So fuck you, Ben. But, there's also links. I'm quite chuffed about this. But links to Gorsons from Atlanta. Obviously he had a fantastic Euros. I've not known too much about him, obviously this season, because I've not taken too much notice of like maybe the Italian league especially. But yeah, he is a good left wing back. So he could be one that we could end up bringing in. Now, in a sense of like non related to transfers, but related to the club anyway. So Peter Kenyon has been linked to a director of football role, which looks like a director of football or CEO role will be filled in within weeks, supposedly. So obviously we could have that bit of knowledge in. It's a little bit later than I guess I would have liked, because obviously we do kind of need one now for the transfer window. But Um, Obviously that does really help for the future. Um, the training ground refurbishment is due with a full upgrade to be done in the next 3 to 4 years. So that's great. Obviously, it can sort out our facilities. And the 9 bar is set to be renamed and the Shearer statue to be moved closer to the ground. So good news for Newcastle fans in that sense. But yeah, obviously a bit more of a longer episode. This one, obviously, it has been a few days of rumours. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to comment any of rumours that I haven't mentioned or any of your thoughts on any of these rumours mentioned today. And be sure to like if you're happy about any of them. And subscribe as well, as I will be getting these out basically for the rest of January, unless I end up doing something, which at this point in time I'm not planning on it. I should probably get one out every day for the rest of January. Maybe apart from match days, as obviously the talks do die down a bit then. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and adios.